Good morning everybody, how are you all going? It looks like it's going to be a nice day today. It is only 12 degrees C, but it looks like it might warm up hopefully. Okay, now I'm going to do this video for my friend Jim to have a more complete look at my system, including solar panel wiring and solar panel layout on my roof. Now my roof's got a lot of angles. I've got solar panels facing north and solar panels facing west. Okay, now this Dia 8 kilowatt inverter has got two MPPT controllers in it, and it can take 2 strings per controller. Okay, which has all been explained in other videos. But basically, this is where my solar panels. Now, I have, if you have a look here, you see these panels in green. Alright, they face sunset. They're low volt panels, they're only 22 volt panels. And they are really good panels, by the way. They actually give you what they say they give you, but they don't come into play until the sun gets over towards the afternoon and late afternoon. They really come into play and help power the house. Okay, they're the only panels I could not put on the Dia inverter because of the cost of all this. I didn't have the money to redo all my solar panels as well, and indeed they don't need redoing for at least another 2 or 3 years. Okay, but what I did do, the best match for this inverter were these 440 watt Jinkos, and we bought one of them and I've mounted it onto my camper trailer. They're a split cell split panel, okay, and I'm going to be testing that when I go camping. That's why it's up there. I want to know what its output does before I look at spending a lot of money on them. But let's get back to this. So in the circuit breakers, you can see we've got all of our voltages and everything all written down here. These are the low volt ones. Low volt. This is the high volt array, and that's another high volt array. And you can see, I'm going to attach this photo so you can see it, but you can see the red's high volt, the blue's high volt, yellow's high volt, and the purple's high volt, and the green is low volt. And they've got the voltages and everything there. But they all come into their individual circuit breakers. Now apparently under the new regulations you don't need those. However, I like to be able to shut an array off if it gets a short, gets a water in it, or yeah, you know, I break a panel or something happens, and keep going until I get it fixed. So I opted for circuit breakers on both my high volt side, which is there, and my low volt side, which is there. Okay, now, so all the high volt ones are wired directly underneath there, straight into the Dia. And the Wi-Fi dongle is just at the back here, and you can see this little cable here, because this is a metal box, okay, and even the hole here has got a metal screen on it, so it's very hard to get Wi-Fi signals out of this. So I put an external antenna up there near the exhaust fan, and I get a very good strong signal out of this Dia inverter. Now, okay, so all these ones are wired directly into the Dia. The ones on the Victron, and I explained why I have to have the Victron there, is basically for these 1500 watts of low volt panels that don't come into play until afternoon and late afternoon, and they actually really help run the house. Okay, because they're high up on the peak, and yeah, they get a lot of late afternoon sunshine. Okay, because they're facing west. So what I've done here is I've put the Victron Link's power in down there. I've got the batteries wired in, and you can see here I've also got the Victron wired in. So the 1500 watts of solar on that panel never gets counted. It's just there. But everything else goes through the Dia inverter. Indeed, you can see this morning it's early. You can see the time there, 8:06 a.m. Okay, and you can see what we've got happening with the solar on there. Even the back array, the west, because this has got a north-facing panel and a west-facing panel. So one MPP controller is handling the north side and one is handling the west side. This side of my house, where the driveway is, there's the road out the front there. Okay. This side of my house is north. This side of my house is west. Okay. So it's I think it's very important, if you've got a system like this, instead of putting all your panels north, put at least half to the west. Okay, and that gives you a really good power curve throughout the whole day. Well, there's not a real power curve with this, but what it is, in the morning it goes zoom straight up full. Okay, and then the power, the split arrays actually help power the house through the different times of day and into the late afternoon. Okay, so that's how I've got my solar set up, and it's working very well. Now my generator, which isn't on, but since we've had it in, we've run tests and all that, we've used 54.4 kilowatt hours out of that little generator. The generator is rated at 3.2, but it's really a 2.8. And in the programming, okay, you can program the generator, rated power. I've got 2,500 watt, and then you can go and power you can program in the battery settings, and you can see maximum charge amps, maximum discharge amps, battery capacity, all that sort of stuff there. And here you can see the start, how it's all set, the generator start, the charging amps, and all that sort of stuff there. You can program the generator to run the loads first, or do your charging and then use a little bit of excess power to run the house. We've got ours set up to charge the batteries, then run the house. Yeah, I mean, this has got endless programming. You can program times and all that sort of stuff. This is a hybrid. I haven't got it connected to the grid. And I don't believe they make an off-grid unit, but these work just as well off-grid as they do on-grid. And you can also use the grid side for a generator as well. It's got that option to change sides depending on your wiring availability. All right, so how I control, I've got this thermostat control. You can see it's currently in this battery cabinet. It's always warm. and the sensor is right on top of the inverter. So that is reading the inverter's temperature. It's right there. There's the sensor. Okay, the current temperature in that corner there is 25.3 degrees C. Alright, and you can see our turn on and turn off settings there. Yeah, it's just, it works really well. Okay, so anyway, my batteries and the Victron come into this links, then they go through a DC switch up into the inverter. The inverter's also got its own switch, and the power on off is at the side there. Now there's the mounting bracket there, and you just simply hang it on and put the 2 screws in so it doesn't jump off. Very easy, very simple, very strong mounting system. The wiring's great, and we'll go inside now, have a look at some logs, and I'll also attach this document which I've explained, so it'll just be a photo. You can work it out from there, have a better look. It's a lot better quality than what I printed out here. Our views on the system, it's been a real game changer. The inverter is absolutely silky smooth. Okay, the volts and the hertz are right on the money. They don't fluctuate. It's just absolutely brilliant. Do I recommend this system? 100%. You might not be able to get the green bank batteries in Chile, but these have a lot of batteries pre-programmed into them. If you order from China, just make sure you get the batteries that'll work with it, that are pre-programmed into it. Ziggy and I are just totally still blown away with how well it works. I can't, yeah, I mean, it's just a silky smooth. Like we said, this is our, hopefully this will see us out. Okay, this system will see us out. We may have to upgrade the solar panels because they're getting a bit long in the tooth now. Indeed, some of them have actually started to change colour, which is a good sign that they're been exposed to the Australian sun a bit too long. But they're still producing well, and while they're still producing well, it's good. This one's currently doing, is that a 1.1 amp? Because the sun's nowhere near those panels yet. Anyway, there you go. Enjoy the battery logs, and you can have a closer look at my solar panel layout. We will let you know how the Jinko panels go on our trip, how much amps we get out of them and everything else. That's what the test is for. I just like to test everything before I buy it. The batteries, like I say, a friend of mine in Queensland's had them for years. They work well. The inverter was a new one for me. Hadn't really been tested by anybody. So the programming of it wasn't too difficult. And yeah, everything is just live on the internet. There's no extra add-ins. You don't need extra shunts or Servo GX units or anything like that for it to connect to the internet, you know. 3,600 sounds a lot of money. That's what that unit cost us. But by the time you buy another brand and then all the other rubbish, just so you can connect it from the grid in the hope of, you know, controlling it and seeing exactly what's going on, has got hairs on it. This unit's just all in one. Everything's in one. It'll auto start, auto stop the generator. It'll do, not my generator, but if you have one that's got a 2-wire auto start, it'll do it all fully automatically. You don't even have to be home. You just have to make sure everything's got enough fuel in it, just in case you're not home and it needs to start. Both Ziggy and I highly recommend the Dia inverters and the Green Bank batteries, okay? They've just been absolutely brilliant. When the weather starts to warm up, we'll show you how loud it is with the fans on. Hopefully the fans come on. I know the exhaust fan comes on. That works really good, and you can't hear that. If we're sitting just over there, you can. It's just a little background hum with that exhaust fan up on top there, that ducted exhaust fan that isn't ducted, but it's just, I got that one because it's got a flap over it on the end where the hole is. It's got a door and stops bugs going inside. Alright, so I hope you enjoy this video. Give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Please comment and leave an emoji or something. That really does help our channel grow. And we do put a lot of effort into trying bringing you content that is relevant. Okay, we don't sell anything, but I do test a lot of gear, and yes, you know, if it's good, I'll tell you it's good. If it's not good, well, then I'll tell you it's not good. That's the beauty about buying everything. You know, you're not beholden to any companies to make a video. All right, keep safe, everyone. Bye for now. Enjoy the logs. Good morning, everybody. How are we going today? All right, let's just make sure this is all recording. Yes, it is. All right, so this is today's date, the 24th of the 9th, 2023, as we say it in Australia. As they say it in America, 2023-09-24. Okay, so let's add a little bit in here. Let's have the state of charge, and that should be, we don't feed in, discharge power, grid. Okay, so there we go. All right, so you can see our current state of charge here at the side there. You can see our kilowatt hours on this side over here, and you can see the times down along the bottom. And you can see about that power curve I mentioned it in the morning because of the lithium batteries. It just goes and straight up. It's absolutely brilliant. Let's change this to monthly. Okay, self-used, battery charged. Now remember, there is 1500 watts on the Victron that do not get counted. Okay, so sometimes the charging will be less than the power used because the Victron feeds directly into that shunt where the batteries are. But yeah, we are 100% off grid, as a lot of you know. There is no power coming into our house other than the power we provide. All right, so, and you've got what's happening down here. You've got the solar being produced. It's running the battery and running the house. Okay, lovely, isn't it? And you can work out how much the inverter's using here. This is the inverter, simply by taking that total, that total, that total, and working the difference out. Okay, and down at the bottom here, this is monthly view. So each one of these is a day, and you can see here how we're using more power than we're putting in, and that's because of those late afternoon low volt panels. If I had high volt panels up there, then it would match up a lot better. But the system's doing marvelously. Okay, so let's go back another day here. All right, and you can see in the morning it just the charge goes. It was a bit cloudy yesterday. You can see that here in the dips. Okay, till it gets to 100%.
You can see the state of charge up there. And that run there, how many watts is that? 1.7. Okay, we actually had the reverse cycle air conditioner on there just heating up the office or the computer room. All right, let's go back another day. And you can see here that steady thing there. I'm not sure what that is. We had something going on, but you can see the power curve I'm talking about. Again, it's cloudy. It is winter over here, or is it spring now, darling? It's spring now. But you can see the clouds. Let's go back again. And here's a day without clouds. Okay, look at this power curve and look at the time down here. So if I go there, we're 100% full at 9:45 a.m. And that's lithium batteries for you. All right, you can see that right there. It went zoom, yeah, we're full. And then the solar, which is the blue, is just matching the house power until the sun goes down. Let's put diurnal patterns in. Okay, so you can see we've got the sunset there, sunrise over here. And you can just see what I'm talking about. You can just see that. Bang, we're full. I've used lead acid for a lot of years. Even on the stations, we had wet glass lead acid banks, the 2-volt ones that Telstra used to use. And they were in a glass housing, and they're just wet lead acids. It's yeah, they were. They took a lot of maintenance. That's all I can say. Again, we've got cloud. Okay, you can see that there in the way it's performing. Like we go back the other day, yesterday, all right, no cloud. Bang, we're full. Real cloudy day. We still get full. Again, look at the cloud. Look at the cloud on this day. We're still full before lunchtime. Where is that? There. 11:55. Albeit 5 minutes before lunchtime, but we were still full before lunchtime. Again. Anyway, you get the point, all right? Lithium batteries are just chalk and cheese compared to lead acid, okay? We absolutely love our lithium batteries. The green banks here, you can see it's sort of cloudy. You can see it there. We've got lots of light drifting cloud over the house. We've run the air conditioner in the heat mode, reverse cycle air conditioner in the heat mode for quite a few hours there. And yeah, the following day after that, we still get full by 11:15 in the morning, even with that cloudy day. I mean, we just love it. And when of course you've got no cloud, you get that. It's just basically a straight up power curve. You go bang and you're full, and that's it. Just the batteries will just take the whole lot and charge. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's how it all works, okay? And it works brilliantly. We totally love it. We've never had so much available power before, and the bank is smaller. My old AGM bank was 1,000 amp hours, okay? This bank is, with the 2 batteries there, is 500 amp hour bank. So I've got half the potential power, but a lot more power because I can actually use all of it, which I don't. You can see our depths of discharge here. All right. This is for all night before the sun comes up. All right, that's our lowest. 71% we went down to. Okay, state of charge. All right, that's we've used hardly any. Here again, 72%. Here again, 70%. All right, here we went down to 51% on this one. Okay, it was a bit colder then. And here we're at 62%, and we've used the air conditioner. You see that? That's why the next day we dropped so low. Okay, if we go back to the previous night, we're using the reverse cycle air conditioner as a heater for quite a few hours there, just sucking the power out of it. And the following day, you can see that in the morning battery percentage, 51%. Anyway, all right, I'm going to put the photo on now. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I just love all the logs and everything else I can do with this. I can check the system from anywhere in the world. I can change any programs that need changing. I can force start the generator. If something's not going well, I can just push force start. It'll start the generator if I had a 2-wire generator, an auto start 2-wire generator. You can do everything with it, absolutely everything, and it's all included in the unit. All right, everything's in the unit. It's just totally brilliant. All right, enjoy the photo, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Keep safe, everyone. Bye for now.